Everybody, and welcome to our first game of the season of New Heights Academy football. Actually, you could say our inaugural football game is New Heights Academy because we had a name change in the offseason from College Heights to New Heights Academy, Christian Academy. So you have to forgive me and my partner Brian here for the slip-ups that will inevitably happen as we go through it. I'm Josh Quaddy, and I'm here with my co-partner here,
And I'm Brian Schumacher.
And we're excited to call the game tonight at our new home field here at Fred Hughes Stadium. We played a playoff game here last year, and all of our home games were at Joplin High School. Now this is the new permanent home of the New Heights Academy Cougars. So kind of wrapping up last season, talking about this season. We finished the season 6-4, which was a big increase after our one-win season of our inaugural football, 8-man football season. It was a great season last year, a lot of growth for the program. Lost against Liberal in the playoffs and kind of wrapped up the season. Had the opportunity to talk with Coach Lucas this past week and just kind of wrapping up last season and looking ahead in this one. As we talked, I asked him, I said, hey, what's kind of your takeaways from last season and what should we expect this season? He said, first thing he talked about was senior leadership. They had 4 seniors that were all leaders, some pretty vocal, some leading in the weight room, out on the field, and kind of being good morale guys. He said, those aren't easy guys to replace. He said the second thing that was a big change was they had several upperclassmen pass catchers. So guys who could catch out of the backfield or also really kind of stretch the field deep. And so 2 of those wide receivers, Colson, Dickens, and Caleb Quaddy graduated. Matt, who came out of the backfield, Matt Williams, and then Kai, who was our center and defensive tackle. And so he said, when you have a wealth of those type of receiving backs and seniors, obviously makes an adjustment to what we're looking at for this year. But we've got a great group of seniors that have come in. He talked about the leadership that they've already taken. Logan Decker, our quarterback, our 3-year starting quarterback, comes in and has provided a lot of leadership. And he also noted Caleb Hipple. He's another senior who's going to play some linebacker, maybe a little bit of tight end, and has been a great leader for the team. Also rounding out our seniors, we've got Levi Durling, who's another 3-year starter for the program. Plays a lot of running back. I think we'll see a lot of Levi, and he also plays linebacker for us. Aiden Cummins, wide receiver and a linebacker. We got Caleb, plays a little bit of line. And also, we'll see him on the tight end. Tate Angel, who also is a lineman, and Caleb Kennedy, who's another lineman. And so those seniors have really come in. I asked him, I said, whenever you have that kind of adjustment with the change in wide receivers, what does that change for your offense? And he says, well, you see a little bit more out of the backfield, but he says we still want to run a spread offense. We still want to stretch the field. And so we'll see probably a lot of Cannon Miller, who's another starting. He's going to be a junior this year, but he's a 3-year starter that's coming back and runs some out of the backfield, but it's a deep field, down the field threat for sure. So we'll see a lot of him featured. And so it's kind of like taking last year and going, okay, so you're going to spread the field, you're going to kind of push it down the field. And he goes, that's exactly what we want to do. We want to be a balanced team who's passing the ball but really running it and running a really good, solid program. One of the things that he talked about as a benefit coming into this year is that in year 3, you've got a better weight program. He said our players are more in shape this year, and just their technical understanding of the sport is increasing. So he says, I expect us to fly towards the ball, learning how to tackle and bring guys down in a better way, and just being better general football players. So I think we're going to see some stuff out of the spread. I think we're going to see some pistol. I think we're going to see even some shotgun. But I would really expect to see the offense go really primarily through Logan Decker, whether it's an option, the pass, or the run. Logan's such a great dual-threat quarterback. Defensively, we're switching from where we had a 3-man front. They're going to do a 2-man front and then 3 deep linebackers. And so really try to get those linebackers to shoot the gap and to create some type of just penetration and be able to slow that ball down. So as we gear up here, ready to kick off the season, Go Cougars.
Looks like Caleb Hipp will be doing the kickoff for us tonight.
He was our primary kickoff specialist last year as well.
Kicked all the way to the 5-yard line. Big hit by Cannon Miller and brings him down just short of the 20. Be 1st and 10 for Rich Hill.
Last year, special teams was definitely a weakness of ours. A lot of times you see the twos out there during special teams. I'm interested to see how they tighten things up, and that was definitely a great play by the Cougars to get down the field, wrap up, and bring him down. They start too wide here.
Rich Hill opens up in the pistol, one back in the shotgun. Drops back to pass. Over the middle, number 12, intercepted.
Man, what a play.
That's David Williams with the interception for the Cougars. And great field position for the Cougars' first possession of the season. See if we can take a look back at that on replay.
Just way to be in the right position, watching for the ball, paying attention. Keeping that ball up. Man, you couldn't ask for a better start this season. It's a quick change of possession.
1st and 10 now for the Cougars. Decker back to pass. Has some pressure over the top. Cannon Miller was open just a little bit out of the outstretched hands.
So Rich Hill last year, they did try to pass some. They're mostly a running team, which is what you see in a lot of 8-man football. They'll stuff the box and, just do a lot of running plays. But the Jamboree this year, Rich Hill was definitely trying out some pass plays and seeing what they could get going and try to get some rhythm.
Decker back in the gun. Handoff through the middle. 5-yard gain, and it will bring up 3rd and 5.
And there's some good blocking to hold that defender back. I believe that was maybe Max Long in there that was pinning his guy.
Decker fakes the pass, runs to the right, is taken out of bounds for no gain. It brings up 4th down.
It seemed like there was some type of hesitation there. They were definitely, I'm not sure if they were trying to run an option and it was his choice. And Cannon just didn't hand the ball off to Cannon, or if it was just felt the hold. But regardless, Rich Hill had read that all the way. I would assume that they're going to be spying Logan. I would expect a lot of that this year out of teams that we play against, being such a good dual threat.
Decker in the shotgun. Option to the left, and he finds the seam. Touchdown, Cougars.
Great run by Logan, great read. They were waiting for the pitch, and it just held him there just long enough that he was able to then just get him stood up, really. Once they got stood up, they were gone.
All right, going for 2.
Oh, didn't see that guy coming loose.
Ball's loose, and that will end the 2-point conversion. No good. Next play will be the kickoff for the Cougars.
That guy came flying off that right side right there. Logan didn't see him coming. And lost the ball to recover. And for those unfamiliar with 8-man football, you don't really see a lot of extra points. Almost everything is a 2-point conversion. It's a quick scoring. It's a more narrow field, shorter field. So it's quick hits, quick strikes. And so I think only last year we saw a few point after kicks. Almost everything is 2-point conversions. Great start for the Cougars. Opening interception followed by a Decker rushing touchdown.
Good ball into the corner, received by Rich Hill.
All right, good tackle there.
Brought down at the 25. Be 1st and 10 for Rich Hill.
It's often, a lot of times you'll see a lot of onside kicks also in 8-man football. A lot of onside kicks. So what Rich here will do here, open up with a couple passing plays.
Same formation. They have the back set behind the shotgun quarterback. Their quarterback, Zane Becker, the senior. He's got a seam. It looks like he's gone. He's got Derling chasing him from behind, but he's not going to catch him. And that's a touchdown for Rich Hill.
Yeah, tough play by our defense. The good blocking by Rich Hill to open up that hole. And, man, once he was gone, it was over. This is 8-man football. Changes quickly.
Yeah, not much time off the clock. And we already have 2 touchdowns. 2-point conversion in motion. He keeps it to the right, and it's enough for the 2 points to convert. Rich Hill Tigers take the lead 8-6.
It seems on that last touchdown run, our guys were in tight. Didn't seem like we had any help deep. And once he broke through that initial line of linemen and linebackers, he was gone. How quickly things change, right, Brian? we get a big pick, turn around, score quickly, kind of get them on their heels just a little bit, and then the next moment.
Yeah, have the Tigers just had 2 offensive possession or plays, or did they?
They had an incomplete pass.
They did have.
Yeah.
Well, that was intercepted. The first pass of the game was intercepted.
No, there was one where they sailed it a little bit high on the so they've had three
plays.
3 plays. Incomplete pass, a pick, and a touchdown.
The Cougars are going to come out with 9 on the field. Oh, nope, he's going to come off. Tigers ready to kick off. Goes for the onside kick. And secured by Caleb Hipple.
Way to catch that and fall on it, just like they tell you, just like they teach you. Don't try to be cute. Just get that ball, get down.
Good field position to start for the Cougars.
Yeah, Murray State was playing Mizzou last night, and they went for an onside kick first play of the game.
And, nice.
And the Tigers recovered. And
Derling lined up to the left of Decker. Decker looking to the
Got
left
him.
and finds Miller. Miller all the way. Touchdown, Cougars. Oh, there's a flag on the play.
Let's see what the call is here. An eligible man downfield. All right, that's going to bring that play back. Oh, man, that's tough. Man, it was a great play. Miller had him cooked. So cooked he had to wait for the pass. He was underthrown just a little bit. And nobody around him. That wipes off a great catch and run by Miller. Good play.
This time they're stacked to the right, 2 wide receivers. Option play. Decker keeps it, and he's gone. No flags down. Touchdown, Cougars.
Hey, great blocking in the center line. That was Kennedy and Tate and Max. Max Long, great blocking, opened that hole up. Logan just has so much speed. So much speed. He opens up, when that hole got open, he just cooked everybody. That's 2 plays in a row where we were able to get behind their defense pretty quickly. Wonder if Rich will make any adjustments, keeping somebody back deeper and open up more of a running game for us. Underneath routes.
2 to the right, 1 to the left. Decker in the shotgun. Rolls to the right. Option play, he keeps it. And that's enough for the 2-point conversion.
Nice little juke move there. Kind of in there and kind of faked like he was going to go to the right. Kind of got that guy to bit and then went in there to the left. Now, this kind of brings up one of the things I talked to Coach about this week. As I said, Logan is such a special player. A good football player, good football mind, and it's really playing offense and defense both. And you want that guy to stay healthy, you want that guy to stay upright, you want to keep that guy in there. I always cringe a little bit when I see him go in there on defense, just a little bit, but he's a great tackler, great finisher.
Yeah, the Cougars led several games in the first half last season that they weren't able to close out, largely because they lacked depth.
That's true. I think there was only really 10 or 11 that played outside of special teams. All snaps, offense and defense.
All right, kickoff for the Cougars. Tigers have 2 back deep. Hipple puts it right to the second line, to the 30-yard line, and brought down. Gets to maybe the 32.
They ran into freshman Gibson. Kind of stood each other up for a little bit.
Yeah, and it looks like Corbin Cronowit got credited with the tackle.
Yeah, I think he kind of Aiden stopped his momentum, and then, Corbin came in and finished the tackle.
1st and 10 for the Tigers. Slot receiver to the left. Down tight end to the right. Lead blocker right. And it's a good pickup for the Tigers.
So again, that's kind of what I was just talking about there. It was Logan Decker who had to finish that tackle. So our guys on the outside got a little stood up, weren't able to shed their blocks.
Yeah, that was more of Decker ran that as an option. The Tigers ran it more as a lead blocker, the running back. This time they're going to go 2 wide receivers right and then the down tight end to the left in motion. Handoff up the middle. Cougars stuff him at the line for no gain.
That was really the first time so far the team has run something that we expect to see a lot of this year. Just downhill, smash mouth, run through the line, take what you get, go hard. A lot of teams that we play against, they stuff the box, they put all their linemen up front, have maybe one guy outside, but have a halfback, a quarterback, and they just run downhill. So that was great. Great stop.
Same setup. Wide receivers to the right, down tight end to the left, in motion. Carry to the right by the quarterback, Becker, and he's close, right on the line. It depends on the spot. They're going to say first down.
Corbin came in and got a good hit on him. Just able to get over that line of scrimmage. It was interesting talking with Coach. They haven't seen a lot of. This is a new team. A new team. The team has a new head coach this year, so it's hard to know exactly, Rich Hill, exactly what they're going to be doing.
Tigers more of a balanced set this time. Receiver left, receiver right, tight end down on the left. He drops back to pass, rolls to the left. Becker has some space, gets the first down, going for more, and gets driven out of bounds at the 20-yard line. First down, Tigers.
Decker had the opportunity to bring him down, had him wrapped up, but just couldn't bring him down to the ground. And it's a good finish tackle. I believe that was David Williams. He was able to bring him down. I think Cannon Miller was over there too.
Ball spotted at the 21-yard line. Zane Becker, number 2, senior, is the quarterback for the Tigers. In motion again. Handoff to the running back. He gets caught behind the line and brought down for a loss.
That was a great tackle. That little bit of a botch snap, it just kind of fumbled, just bobbled it just a little bit in his hands, create just a little bit of hesitation. And freshman David Williams out there making some good plays. We will see a lot from the freshmen. There's several freshmen that have come in that are going to have some opportunities to play this year. And he's making the most of those opportunities. So I'm getting talking a little bit. Oh,
ball's loose.
It's loose.
And the Cougars recover. First down, Cougars, big turnover.
A great heads-up play by the Cougars. Saw that, got right through the line, fell on top of it. Run almost kind of took it from him. So Corbin, great job. That's 2 turnovers early in the first quarter.
Decker back for the snap. He rolls to his right. Wide open, Caleb Hipple. And he's all the way in for another touchdown for the Cougars.
Great. He was wide open there in the middle of the field. I believe that's Hipple's first touchdown. First career touchdown there. Great play. He was open, wide open in the middle of the field. I asked Coach about Caleb Hipple, and he said, yeah, we got him kind of lined up at tight end. I said, will we see him? He said, I'm going to feed him enough to keep him hungry.
Decker in the shotgun, 3 receivers to the right, into the short corner, and he catches it for the 2-point conversion. That's number 25.
Jake Sullivan.
Jake Sullivan, a sophomore.
It's a great possession. Like we said before, life happens quick. We just have 7 minutes left in the first quarter. And already a lot of offense, not a lot of defense. It's interesting because they had some players back. They had some safeties back there. And Caleb really opened it up.
Yeah, they actually had Durling running short that was open and Hipple running mid-level that was open. I think they were committed to protecting the deep pass. Good play design by the Cougars. 22-8 now the score. Kickoff received by the Tigers. Brought down by number 10, David Williams, assisted by number 2, Aiden Gibson. Or not, I'm sorry, that was number 4, Levi Durling on the tackle.
Let's see if we can get a defensive stop, a turnover on downs. We've had 2 stops, great ones with an interception and a fumble. Now it's really, it's not just about this game, but it's getting ready for future games. And can our defense stand up a team?
Tigers in motion. Handoff up the middle. Gain of 8 on the play for the Tigers.
Again, this is more of the offensive setup that we see more of. You had one wide receiver spread out. You had everybody else kind of bunched in there. See a lot of that. The Cougars, so far their passing game hasn't been their strong point so far. Still without a completion, I believe.
2nd and 1 upcoming for the Tigers. Roll to the left. He's got enough for the first down before getting brought down.
It was Durling.
Levi Durling with the tackle.
They really had some success. Richel has had some success on kind of running on the outside there. Seems like we have a timeout. Yeah, call a timeout there.
Could you tell who called the timeout?
I do wonder if it was a ref's timeout. In the early season, when it's hot outside, they'll do drink timeouts to make sure the boys stay hydrated.
Okay, yeah, it's right at 6 minutes, so that makes sense.
I didn't see any coaches call timeout or anything like that. They didn't signal a certain way.
Well, while we have this break, I'm going to see if I can get this replay figured out because for some reason my replay asset is not bringing up a replay.
Yeah, unless they're delayed in changing the stats on the board. It seems like it was kind of a water break timeout, as neither team's been counted for that timeout. There, see the coaches talking to the players.
All right, back on the field, 1st and 10 for the Tigers. Tight end on the line on the right. Wide receiver to the left and back in the backfield on the right in motion.
Oh, got a flag.
Looks like a false start on the Tigers.
I didn't see where that movement was. Again, those who aren't familiar with 8-man football, you don't see a lot of punts either. It's a lot of 4 down, and pretty much most everything on the other side of midfield is 4 down territory.
They did start the clock. Reverse play off the motion. Enough for a first down all the way down to the 15-yard line for the Tigers.
That was just good blocking by Rich Hill. Just good blocking. Guys weren't able to get around it. He was able to get down the field before our cornerback, Decker, was able to jump on his back, bring him down. That's form tackling, right, Brad?
Tight end to the left. Receivers both to the right. Motion handoff middle.
Great tackle. Yeah, that was Aiden, just got downhill.
Gain of 2 on the play.
Able to bring him down. Aiden came through there pretty much untouched. Good play.
Tigers take the snap. It looked like everyone jumped early that time.
Got some movement again. Again, these miscues, they just hit differently when you know you have 4 downs to go for it. You don't want to lose any type of yards, but the 5-yard penalties, and you can see that. I mean, some of these plays gain those back pretty quickly. And when you have that really essentially extra down, able to cover a little bit quicker.
Brings up 2nd and 13 after the 5-yard walk-off. Running back to the left. Good gain on the play. Will bring up 3rd and 2, it looks like. Maybe 3. 3rd and 3.
Jake Sullivan came through there, kind of flying at him. The quarterback was gone, kind of hopped around a little bit. Rich Hill really is, they haven't had much luck downhill. They haven't had much luck in the receiving game, but
2 receivers to the left in motion. Flip back as he goes to get to the edge on the right. And that's enough for a touchdown.
Our team really has had a problem getting around their blocks and shedding their blocks. Whenever they get on that edge, they just kind of get stuck there. Now, maybe there's more holding than what's being called, but those guys got to be able to fight through those blocks to slow them down, push them to the next defender.
2-point conversion, run to the left, and he's got it. 22-16 now the score. Cougars holding the lead.
So really, so far, offensively, the Cougars are doing fantastic. Defensively, they've done a great job against the pass, but it's the run they've really been struggling against.
Cougars do have 2 turnovers. They've got that interception early, and then they recovered a fumble. So they are a touchdown up and a possession up because the Tigers did get the opening kick.
I got to do a better job following the play. I'm watching it here in real life. I got to make sure the camera's tracking. Let's see here what Rich Hill does on this kickoff.
Cougars just have one guy back, 4 on the line. They're in a 4-2-1-1 setup.
Seemed like they're anticipating that.
Another onside kick. Didn't make it 10 yards before the Tigers touched it. Picked up by number 20, Corbin Cronowit. And ran all the way to the 30-yard line of the Tigers.
Good hands there by Corbin. It's pretty muddied in there. Hard to see, and when that ball's bouncing, and if it bounces off a player, it's a loose ball. And Corbin's not able to only grab it, but he's able to gain some yards out of it too. Give the Cougars great starting position.
First and 10 for the Cougars. Handoff middle. Durling finds some space and a nice gain of 8 yards.
I saw a couple good blocks there, kind of opening that up. 25 Sullivan kind of pinned his guy back, and Levi's so shifty. He's got that quick jump and that lateral movement. They really gain him a couple more yards.
Brings up 2nd and 2 for the Cougars. 4 wide receivers. Decker alone in the backfield. That was a quick screen play out to Miller on the left, but Miller couldn't handle the pass. Falls incomplete. Would bring up 3rd down and short.
Yeah, the pass was pretty low. It was down around his knees, below his knees. You'd still like to see, Miller be able to bring that in. But again, we see a lot from the Cougars not shying away from the pass game at all.
I think that was the first time we'd seen a 4 wide receiver set from the Cougars. They're back to a
backfield.
stack left. Decker in the shotgun. Gives it to Durling, rolling right. Durling breaks through the initial tackle, falls forward, but looks like he's still short of the first down.
Looked to me like number 56. Yeah, Chance Garwood kind of pulled him forward another yard. Levi was going down. He kind of twisted him forward. Gives the Cougars a 4th and short. So big play for the Cougars. Big momentum shift here.
Cougars at the 19-yard line. Durling on the right side of Decker.
Oh, we got some movement. I don't know if it was our lineman that moved first or, looks like there's some.
Offside on the Tigers is the call. That's a first down for the Cougars.
Tough. And Rich Hill was able to get them in a 4th and short location. I believe it was our first 4th down of the game.
First down, New Heights from the 14.
And just had some movement. Tough mistake.
Decker takes the handoff, gives it to Durling going left, and Durling gets brought down, but there's a flag on the play. Looks like it may have been a late face mask.
There is a flag.
Looks like the lineman is pointing to a horse collar tackle. Personal foul, face mask.
Yeah. That's 2 real tough penalties on Rich Hill. Be half the distance to the goal on that one. Some movement that gave him a first down, and now 1st and goal for the Cougars.
First and goal, New Heights from the 7-yard line.
Some of this stuff is to kind of be expected. This is New Heights' first game of the year. Rich Hill had played in a jamboree, but it's also their first game of the year.
Decker back in the shotgun, Durling on his left. Sorry, that's Miller. Miller gets the handoff. And he gets down inside the 5-yard line.
Miller on the carry for New Heights.
Got around the edge, tried to cut it,
Turner bring it down.
kind of cut it straight up, but had a defender there ready to bring him down.
Calling it a long 4 just inside the 5. Decker in the gun, hands it off middle, and that's Durling, and he's got the touchdown.
Great play, start to finish.
Levi Durling on the
Hands to
carry.
Levi, lineman opened up. Oh, just good enough for Levi just to run right through that. It's a great run. Last year, Matt Williams was kind of our downhill runner. He kind of ran angry, got a little Pacheco in him and just head straight downhill. And so it's great to see that still in the playbook. Levi, great touchdown run for Levi.
Decker alone in the backfield, 3 receivers left. Decker on the delay goes to the right, gets to the edge, and gets the ball over the pylon for the 2-point conversion.
Takes the score to 30, 16 New Heights.
Now that's a significant possession for us. It really is. We haven't been able to do much to stop them on defense, which they haven't done for themselves.
Yeah, the Cougars now leading by 14.
And that 2-possession score, it's a big deal.
And just a reminder to all you folks out there, it is still the first quarter.
A lot of points, a lot of points. And they play, the clock runs like a college clock. And so the ball is stopped, or the time is stopped if the ball goes out of bounds, which isn't in the pros. They'll run it unless it's within 5 minutes of the fourth or second quarters. So that ball stops every time, unless it's a tackle.
in
the
the
field
pros
of
it
play.
will stop on an incomplete pass.
Right, which of course it does here too.
Yeah, it makes for, in 8-man football, this is just too long of a game.
It's a long game. Only really if there's a tackle inside.
Hipple
field of
takes
play.
the kickoff for the Cougars, hits the middle line. That's number 54. Big tackle by Durling.
Woo!
By Durling.
Number 54, Dakota Bacon for the Tigers is who carried the ball.
He took that hit, absorbed it, and then swung him down. Big tackle. Again, I'm ready to see a defensive stop that doesn't come from a turnover. So again, you got the Cougars lined up in that kind of that 2-3 defensive set.
Tigers
linemen.
2 wide receivers to the right in motion. Gets the handoff and goes back to the right and gets stuffed.
Big play. Big play. That's another great tackle for loss by Cronowit. Great penetration, came unblocked, wrapped him up and brought him down. I'd have to imagine that this will be the last play we see this quarter.
Brings up 2nd and 16 for the Tigers, and then they're going to let the clock run out. That's the end of the first.
And that brings us to the end of the first quarter with our score. New Heights 30, Rich Hill 16.
So all in all, a good start for the Cougars. Been able to score on every offensive possession. Been able to force 2 turnovers. And outside of Rich Hill had a couple possessions, of course, where they were able to move the ball. One kind of blown defensive play where they scored, and then the other one was a drive. They put together a drive, and the Cougars weren't able to stop them. But this is kind of that great momentum. And we played Rich Hill at Rich Hill last year to open up the season, and started off with pretty good. I believe it was 60-22 victory for the Cougars. So those 60 points that we scored last year, we've already scored 30 in the first quarter.
Yeah, what was the score of the game after the first quarter last year?
I don't remember the score after the first quarter. I don't have those numbers.
Because it may very well have been a similar script. They'll get into a running clock here in the second half if they take a big lead.
Yeah, I do remember that from last year. I went back and rewatched the game. There was the second team was in the fourth quarter for both teams, and the Cougars had held Rich Hill to one score in the first few quarters of the game. And the last two scores came late with the twos.
All right, starting the second quarter, 2nd and 16 for the Tigers. Drop back to pass. He has a receiver there, but intercepted by the Cougars. That's Decker with the ball. He's got an alley. He goes all the way for a touchdown.
Great play. Great read. The quarterback, I believe is number 12, is that right? Anyways, he dropped back to throw. Rich Hill coming out of the quarter wanting a big play. And they came out, threw it, and underthrew the receiver, and we had two in the area, and Logan Decker was able to pick that off, and then just a great run back for that touchdown. It's really these, ever since they scored, Rich Hill felt like they had a little momentum maybe going their way, but after an offensive and then a defensive score, momentum is definitely on the side of the Cougars.
The Cougars going for two. In motion across the formation, handoff. That's to number 25, Jake Sullivan. 2-point conversion is good.
I said, man, that's got to be deflating if you're Rich Hill. Had him within one score there just a few minutes ago of game time. And to have the Cougars drive on you, and really that drive sustained by a couple costly penalties by Rich Hill, and then to have that pick six. Their passing game really has not been working for them. And that's the tough part about this, and this is kind of where you want to be if you're the Cougars. You know, if their passing game's been struggling, and they get behind, and their running game has actually been their strength offensively for Rich Hill. Now to get behind, you don't want to get too buried where you have no choice but to try to pass.
Yeah, and in the 8-man football game, it does seem like you're never too far out to run because every run can be an out-of-bounds stoppage of clock also.
That's true.
All right, Tigers are back in the 3-3-2 for the kickoff. Caleb Hipple with the kickoff duties for the Cougars. Back spinning ball all the way to the back two. That's number 10. He finds a seam but loses his footing down at the 24-yard line. First down for the Tigers.
What I like about that on that special teams is they contained the run. So they just weren't flying at the ball, but they were really able to contain it and push it to the next defender to be able to finish the tackle.
Bryant Wolford was the ball carrier for the Tigers. Tight end down to the left, two receivers to the right. The slot back has been coming in motion in this set. This time he holds, handoff up the middle, and the Cougars sniff that out. No gain on the play.
That has been, one of the great defensive strengths of the Cougars so far is just shooting the gap and getting to the defender. So great job. We got Kennedy and Angel in there on the front. Really opening that up.
2 wide receivers left. Slot back in motion. Comes in front of the quarterback. Quarterback keeper. Becker gets sniffed out again, and no gain on the play. Brings up 3rd down for the Tigers.
See, I almost knew that was the play that they were going to run. They tried downhill. They're not going to try the pass. So they're going to try to find that edge because that's where they've had so much success. And the Cougars, they were ready for it. They were able to sniff that out, follow that motion.
Timeout on the field.
Oh, no, this is a timeout. Yeah, called by Rich Hill this time.
Tigers take the timeout.
I think there's a true recognition of the importance of this play here. It's still early in the game. Still a ton of game left, and like you said, Brian, things change quick in 8-man football. A couple botched plays, and players are going the distance.
Yeah, there's just so much game time.
But you do feel like this is, if the Cougars can stand them up, get the ball back, momentum is already on their side, but you start getting so far ahead, it's just hard to dig out of a hole like that. So Rich Hills, I think they understand the importance of this one, take a timeout, and get their guys' heads centered. Be able to keep this drive rolling.
2 wide receivers to the right. Quarterback drops back. Can't find his receiver. Incomplete. Brings up 4th down.
So these are the interesting things in 8-man football. And you don't really have the option of bringing out your punt team, Like, do you go for it? Or do you punt this ball away? Seems like both teams are reading punt. Miller's dropping back to receive. They brought in different personnel set. So just how aggressive do you anticipate Rich Hill being here?
Yeah, the quarterback will be the punter if he does. He's in a deep set out of the shotgun. Becker punts it away. He shanks it out to the right, though, and didn't gain much from that. It looks like they're going to spot it all the way back.
Oh, man.
Just a 5-yard gain on that punt.
That's rough. And again, that's kind of the logic on it, right? It's, do you go for the punt or you just go for it on 4th down? Could they have gained that many yards running a play? I mean, of course, you don't think you're going to shank it, but.
Cougars will take over in the Tigers' half of the field at the 30-yard line. Cougars in an empty back set, 4 wide receivers. Decker in the back, out of the shotgun. He's looking to the left. He has Miller on the run. Touchdown, Cougars.
Great play. I mean.
Look back at that on replay. Miller just beats his receiver. Decker puts it right on his numbers for the touchdown.
And just a streak go route right down the sideline. Great pass, great catch, great finish. Cougars are really kind of starting to pour it on here.
2-point conversion. Durling to the right. Decker in the shotgun. Decker keeps it. Going to the right. Avoids the first tackle and is able to get in for the touchdown. 2-point conversion is good.
Great way to keep his balance. Got clipped just a little bit, but was able to keep him stood up and finish that 2-point conversion. Cougars now with a 30-point lead, which is a big.
I'm not sure what happened to my replay, but it is working now. So let's take a look back at this replay again. Miller just blows right by. Beautiful ball by Decker.
Rich Hill last year was 2-8, and got a new coach. Which really equates to somewhat of a new program.
They have 16 players on their roster.
Well, I'm sure it's obviously a lot of returning players. He just caught it.
Tigers get the kickoff, and that's number 54, Dakota Bacon, goes right down with the ball, securing possession at the 25-yard line for the Tigers. Tigers do have 7 seniors on their roster. Quarterback Zane Becker is a senior. He's been getting most of the work tonight. Man in motion. Number 12 gets the handoff. That's number 12, Will Klinsick.
Let's see here.
Klinsick.
Yeah, Klinsick. We apologize to the Rich Hill.
That's a hard one to get at. That N in there is tricky.
Again, the center has been the strength of the Cougars. They tried to run that one down the middle again, and Corbin was able to tackle and bring him down.
Yeah, just 2 down linemen, but they're still able to hold that middle contain.
Oh.
Fumble on the handoff on the player in motion. That was Klinsick again.
When he's coming across and you bobble that just for a second, you slow that momentum down. The momentum down that the blockers are trying to hold on to give you that lane to run through. Slows it down just enough and allows the defenders to get through there.
We'll call it 3rd and 12.
Hunter Marsh is out there. He broke his wrist just this past week in practice. Fell backwards on a tackle, and he's clubbed up. There's a little discussion if he'd be able to play tonight, but glad to see Hunter out there.
Quarterback keeper to the right. Becker gets brought down after a short gain. Will bring up 4th down. 4th and 8. So
here we go. So now it's another big decision time for Rich Hill. This time it looks like they're getting similar personnel out there. Probably going to go for it. Miller's coming back in as if they are.
Quarterback in the gun. In motion. He keeps it going to the left, has a lead blocker. Cougars 2-man tackle, bring him down. 1st down Cougars, change of possession. There's that stopping them on downs that you were wanting.
That's exactly right. One of the biggest things is these outside blocks are not holding our guys back as much as they used to. Our guys are fighting through those, pushing through those, and regaining. So great stop. Cougars, and again, it was almost the mirror image of where they were on the last possession, where they went for that punt.
Yep.
They got shanked, and this time they decided to go for it, and it's essentially the same game.
Cougars come out in an empty back set, 4 wide receivers. Decker takes the shot. Takes the snap and plays the screen pass to the left. That was to number 25, Jake Sullivan.
Just a little too in front of him. Wasn't able to bring that down. Those quick kind of shots, there's a couple passes that Decker hasn't been able to connect with his receiver on. Bringing Hipple back in as tight end. We're going to see him get fed here.
Durling in the backfield, 2 receivers to the left. Miller out wide. Option play, Decker keeps. Really good good fake by the Cougars. Durling took 2 men on as Decker snuck through for a nice gain. Looks like he'll be just short of the first down.
Yeah, great play, great chemistry. That's year 3 of Durling and Decker playing together in our program. Our seniors.
Third and 1. Decker takes the snap. Finds Durling over the middle. Durling all the way in for another touchdown for the Cougars.
Just on script, we talked about that chemistry between the two. First time Logan kept it. This time he passed it off to Levi, cutting through the middle of the field, and just a great touchdown. Good chemistry, good rapport.
52-16 as the Cougars go for 2. Decker takes the snap, looking left.
Oh.
Miller cuts in, passes high, incomplete. 7:24 left to play, 52-16.
Again, great possession by the Cougars. Get the turnover on downs, just a few quick plays to score again. Really kind of create a dominating lead here. I wonder at some point if we're going to start to see some rotations of players at this point. I know it's still early in the game. Such a commanding lead like this, and the passing game for Rich Hill struggling so much. See maybe them giving Decker a break on defense, maybe rotate some other guys in there.
Cougars set to kick off. Hipple gets it over that front line, goes all the way back, fumble of the ball.
Oh, back
He's
in the end
right
zone.
on the 1 yard line and gets brought down by the Cougars.
Hey, great play by the special teams. Again, there were several games last year with the special teams. It was just a tough part of our game, and really doing a great job tonight. There's a second there I wondered if he was going to get out of the end zone. I didn't know if he knew exactly where he was.
Yeah, that's one of the tough things about playing on this shortened field is that 10-yard line is not exactly a big indicator that you're in the end zone.
I remember there was a couple plays last year from our offense where they were actually out of bounds at the back of the end zone. They didn't know it.
Snap to the Tigers, motion to the right, handoff goes to number 12, Klinsick. Short gain. Call it no gain, 2nd and 10.
Defense is moving laterally. It's a lot better right now. Want to move out there, and yeah, it's true. We don't. Yep. Decker's not back out there on defense. Kind of what I figured a little bit. Got Barrett, Bowen back there.
Timeout, Red Hill.
Rich Hill takes their second time out of the half.
Trying to maybe get the guys motivated, gather them up. Stuff that needs to happen out there. If I remember correctly, isn't Rich Hill really close to Archie? Aren't they neighboring towns? And Archie was the state champs last year.
Archie was very good. They're the team that beat Lockwood by 50 after Lockwood smashed us.
They smashed us.
Maybe they only beat Lockwood by 30. I don't know. They beat everybody by a lot.
Really tight.
Quarterback under center. Trying something new. Hand off to 27. That's Carter Bell with a good carry. 6-yard gain will bring up 3rd and 4.
That's a little something that we haven't seen yet tonight, to have so many bodies in there. It kind of seemed like, yeah, they were trying to get that end around, find that outside edge that was working for them earlier in the game. And so now they're trying to switch it up a little bit different. Put all the bodies there in the box. And we got that 6-minute timeout for the ref's timeout for a drink break. Guys can stay hydrated in this early season heat.
They're actually calling it 3rd and 2. Now that it's turned to 8 o'clock, about 7:45, we started to feel a little bit of a breeze. Some of the humidity is coming out of the air, a little bit of a coolness.
Yeah, there was a chance of thunderstorms rolling through the area today. I know you were with our New Heights soccer team earlier. I don't know if you guys had any type of rain delays or any issues out there.
No, it was a lot more humid than I thought it was going to be today. I know the threat of rain never really happened in our area. There was a couple sprinkles around 4 o'clock, but that's about all we've seen.
It's nice. I think any type of lightning delay, it's 30 minutes from the last lightning strike before play can resume.
In 8-man football talk, that's 30 seconds of game time.
Well, the clock's rolling right now.
Tigers start in the under center set. Handoff up the middle again, and he gets enough for a first down. About a 15-yard gain there for the Tigers.
I figured that's what, coming back from just kind of that drink break time out there, they found a little something that's working against our line. Our line has been able to do a great job getting penetration whenever they're spread out. So now let's see how we can make that adjustment now that they've brought everybody back in. We're going to see a little bit of this, at least on this drive.
Yeah, 2 down tight ends, 2 running backs in the backfield. Quarterback under center. Gives it to number 27, Bell again. And another good gain, 5 yards, 2nd and 5.
It's interesting. It looked like there was a lot of arm tackling attempts from the Cougars as he came through. Guys would get contact with him, but they couldn't stand him up. couldn't bring him down.
You mentioned that Decker wasn't in, but I think mostly it is starters in the defensive set here for the Cougars.
Right.
Second and 5 again. Under center, he drops back to pass. Has a receiver wide open. Underthrows him.
Woo.
Good defense by the Cougars to come back and recover.
Great play by Bear, getting his hands up. Knew that the ball was coming. I wondered there for a second if he made contact a little early with him, but they didn't think so. Rest didn't think so, and just a great defensive play. Again, that's just another incomplete pass by Rich Hill, who just cannot get that pass game going.
Yeah, he had the receiver. He just underthrew him by about 10 yards. Brings up 3rd and 5 for the Tigers. Becker under center again. Gives the handoff to Bell. Bell gets a few yards. We'll bring up 4th down and 4. Let's say 4th down and 3. Aiden Cummins brought down Bell.
This is more of what I anticipate us seeing as the season goes on. A lot of what we've seen the past 2 years is just this downhill smash mouth running. Follow a lead blocker, see what that opens up. Big 4th down here for Rich Hill.
Becker under center. Gives it to Bell again. He gets stuffed in the backfield. Gang tackle by the Cougars. And that's a turnover on downs by the Tigers. Cougars will take possession.
Big Poppy Max Long got there first. Got him wrapped up and slowed him down. A couple other players came and finished the tackle. Excuse me, did I get that right? Or
Yep, Max Long made the
was that?
number 65. Oh, was it number 65? That's Wes.
I thought so. That was Wesley.
Wes Williams.
Sorry, I gave that one to Max. That was Wes Williams. This is his first year to play football. What a great opportunity for him. I talked to him after practice yesterday, and he said, Coach is never going to put me in. I run too much. Asked him how he's doing.
Screen play to the left. Brought down for a short gain.
That block was there. Crew Holland with his reception. Great job, Crew. Crew last year was backup quarterback. And this year they've slotted him out to wide receiver. Good play.
2nd and 8 for the Cougars. Decker in the backfield along with Durling.
I didn't see that movement.
Flag on the play.
That's on us.
False start.
Not quite sure who that was on. That pass to Holland seemed like that was the play. They brought him in there, lined him up on the outside. We're looking only for him.
Yeah, that screen set up. Decker rolls to his right, looking for a receiver, goes short to Durling. Durling has enough for the 1st down.
That's the type of play I expect to see a lot of this season. Levi lined out in the slot or in the backfield and then leaking through for the pass. Logan loves the bootleg. Logan loves the bootleg.
Decker directing traffic. Empty backfield. Looking to the left with Miller. Finds him in the slot. And another touchdown for the Cougars.
And great play. That was a similar type of play that he scored the last touchdown, where Levi came through the middle of the field, kind of on like a little bit of a slant route, and Logan was able to find him. Just really eating up that middle of the field too.
All right, 2-point conversion for the Cougars. 3 receivers to the left. Decker takes the snap, rolls to the right, gets stuffed, but is able to get over the pylon. 2-point conversion is good. 60-16 now. 2:27 is the official time on the clock here in the second quarter.
Trying to remember what the running clock is. If it's 30, 35, 40, I can't remember.
Take a look at that run by Decker. He gets hit before the end zone, but is able to stretch out with his right arm, get the ball across the pylon.
That's the running that option. Levi. Yeah, Levi caught that touchdown. Right?
I thought, no, that was Cannon.
Was it Cannon? That's what I heard was Durling.
All right,
We can take a look at the replay.
there's some confusion on who got the touchdown, so we'll go back to the replay. Miller's on the left and runs that slot play. Yeah, it was Cannon.
Yeah, it was Cannon. Yeah, our mistake, that was Miller with the touchdown, the catch and the touchdown on that last play.
It was the press box that announced it. We had it as Miller the whole time.
We were only right. I did say Levi and talk about that as a repeat play, but in my heart I was correct.
All right, kickoff for the Cougars. Tigers got 2 guys back. Hipple takes the squig kick up the middle, bounces over his head at the 10-yard line. He finds an edge down the line, and the Cougars finally bring him down after a nice return.
When that ball bounced over his head, it looked like a repeat of the last kickoff that got Rich Hill pinned so far deep. But the Cougars arm tackling and not forcing him out of bounds, he was able to really gain, another 15, 20 yards on that after it seemed like the play was dead. So good return by Rich Hill. .217 left in the first half.
Tigers will take that snap under center again. 2 guys in the backfield. Run to the right, has 2 lead blockers, gets the first down and a little more before the Cougars can bring him down at midfield.
So the Cougars have already switched out some players here. So some of our starters aren't there anymore. Seems like they've got a rotation of players going.
Yeah, good for the Cougars to get some development here in this early season. This will pay dividends as the season goes on. Quality minutes for these young kids. Again, the Tigers under center. Handoff going to the
Good
left.
tackle.
Short gain before getting brought down by number 20. That's Corbin Cronowit.
So they're going back. That last drive, they were so committed to running it downhill through the middle gaps. Time they're trying a little bit. I was on the edge.
It looks like the Cougars have 5 linebackers. Handoff run to the right by Becker. Gets a little seam there and picks up 7. It'll be 3rd and 2.
Kind of interesting to say this after our first half, but they need to speed up if you're Rich Hill. You're going to try to score,
Yeah,
especially off of running plays and only one timeout left.
you know, there's times in the game where you're at the point where you're still trying to slow the game down. Or, you know, run. I think Rich Hill is content to run the clock as well as the Cougars are. Handoff up the middle. Flag on the play. Looks like it's in the position of holding that umpire threw the flag.
Looks like they're getting ready to walk it back.
The ref made a preliminary signal, but I missed it.
I'm not seeing it either. Yeah, they're walking it back. So if you're Rich Hill, do you take that's 10 yards plus.
Looks like it must have been a chop block by the offensive line because it was a 15-yard penalty.
So I believe that's possibly that the clock would have started running once they, spotted the ball. And Rich Hill opted for the timeout. Makes you wonder if they're going to try to take 1 or 2 shots. Try to get something on the board in the second quarter. Both of their scores came in the first, early in the game. And since then, the Cougars have been able to make several stops, like I was talking about early in the game. Stops that were not dependent on turnovers, but rather turnover on downs. Cougars do have a lot of 2s out there right now still.
All right, back on the field. Tigers under center. Becker takes the snap, drops back to pass, rolls to his right. He has pressure, gets away, rolls to his left. Big hit by the Cougars. Becker still on his feet and finally brought down out of bounds. But the clock rolls to 0.
And that's going to end the first half.
It looked like they did. They wanted to take one shot. Just wasn't open. The Cougars contained them well. Came off that outside. And Holland bodied him a little bit. Were able to bring him down.
Well, we might have a halftime demonstration from the cheerleaders. I'm not sure if they have something planned for tonight or not, but we'll keep live for a few minutes to see. 20 minutes on the halftime clock.
Yeah, it looks like we've got a performance.
That was your New Heights Cougars cheerleaders. And we'll take a halftime break and be back in 18 minutes to start the second half.
All right, welcome back to the second half of the New Heights Academy Cougars against the Rich Hill Tigers. Score in the first half, Cougars are up pretty dominant 60 against Rich Hill's 16. Now, one of the questions I think Brian and I were talking about researching here was what is the running clock? And, when does that become live? If that's a fourth quarter thing, a second half thing, and exactly what the score difference is for that. So, besides that, the story of the first half really, is kind of a little bit back and forth early in the game, and then the Cougars have just really pulled away. Rich Hill has struggled to figure out offensively what was really working for him. Had some good movement early in the game in the running game, but they cannot get their passing game going. They don't have a single completion and 2 interceptions. And the Cougars on the other side offensively have been able to pretty much do whatever they want. They've only had 1 4th down, and that was a 4th and short, and the Tigers got a penalty that gave them an automatic first down. And so really dominant performance by the Cougars. Brian, what do you do if you're Rich Hill here? What's kind of the takeaway? What do you do for the second half?
I think Rich Hill should be working hard to improve on the simple things. Take one play at a time. Try to find something that can give them some rhythm, eat some clock. If they can focus on individual possessions and just try to split this second half, if they can come out of here with the lead no bigger than it is right now, I think that would be a win for them.
You don't want to give up on a game too early if you're any team ever, but there is this is the first game of the season. We've got to get better at the fundamentals. We've got to improve on what we can control and try to get those small wins beyond that now. So if you're the Cougars, kind of what you're looking for here in the second half.
Yeah, the Cougars are looking to get some depth, get in some playing time for the younger kids. I think they'll work on eating the clock, working on coming out of a huddle with a certain time left in the play clock so they can work on some of those situations where they're just trying to grind, because that is an important thing to do even when you're winning by 7 late in the game is the way to eat the clock. So I think that will be a valuable thing for them to do. Plus, it's just nice for them in this first game where it's too hot to be playing football to get to rest some of their starters.
Yeah, I think, kind of year one of the Cougars, there was really only about 10, 11 guys that played, no matter what. And then in year 2, you'd see a lot, when there was big leads, either way, you started to see a lot more players go in and substitute. And we've already seen that here late in the second quarter. We had good rotation of the guys and a lot of guys getting minutes and getting to touch the ball and make some plays.
Yeah. All right, we're here for the kickoff for the second half. Rich Hill does an onside kick, but it doesn't go the 10 yards required. Cougars could pick this up if they wanted and try to run with it, but they will let it be picked up by the Tigers, and the Cougars will take possession right there. I believe that's a flag, isn't it?
I wondered if that's a penalty. Whitehead's going down there. Might be having a conversation here with the guys. Yeah, it seems like they're talking about it. Looks like they're talking. But no penalty assessed.
All right, so 1st and 10 for the Cougars from the 35-yard line. 12 minutes on the clock. 2 receivers to the right. Decker takes the shotgun snap. Has pressure up the middle and gets brought down for the sack. Loss of 8 on the play. Good defensive play from the Tigers to open up the second half.
I didn't really see downfield if he was, waiting for somebody to get open or if the play kind of got busted, but he stayed there in the pocket for quite a while trying to see what he could find down the field. Rich Hill was able to make a good defensive play.
2nd and 18. Decker alone in the backfield. Rolls to his left. He has the edge. Decker turns upfield. Gets a block downfield by Miller, which springs him all the way for the touchdown. Cougars.
Wow, what a play.
No flag on the play. You see Decker gets the edge, and Miller downfield seals that corner, that edge, and Decker gets all the way for the touchdown.
Blocking that really opened that play up. Logan's speed is just something to deal with. And we do have a running clock, so that kind of answers our question here.
Nice.
So start up the second half, running clock. But, yeah, great play by the Cougars to really respond.
Handoff in the middle to Derling, and he converts the 2 points.
Simple handoff right down the lane. That might be the last we see of some of that offense tonight.
And I know you're hungry, and I've got a solution for you. We've got $2 slices of pizza in the concession stand, and we don't want to take them home.
It's kind of interesting. Probably Cannon Miller is our backup quarterback. So I wonder if we'll see Cannon taking some snaps later this game. Try to keep our QB1 healthy. We've already seen him taken out on defense.
Yeah, the Tigers' momentum to get that sack on the first play sure went away quick on the second play.
I mean, it was really their best defensive play of the game.
Yeah.
But the Cougars responded right away. Looks like we have essentially the same starters out there, same starting special teams. Hipple back to kick.
Hipple takes the squig kick, bounces over the first line. Gillis is able to grab the ball off the bounce.
Gillis on the return, brought down by Bowen.
Gets brought down after a short gain just after the 20. Spotted at the 22-yard line, 1st and 10 for the Tigers.
Yeah, good tackle, wrapped him up and brought him down. Yeah, this second half is going to go a lot quicker. They're running clock here, so we're real time here.
This is a dream, isn't it?
I don't know. I mean, I imagine there's a lot of parents out there whose kids are getting some of their first high school football minutes that are probably soaking up every second of it. But obviously this game's pretty far out of hand.
Tigers under center. Becker rolls to the right. He gets the edge. One man to beat and brought down. That's number 12.
That's Logan.
Oh, that's Logan Decker. Decker is still in the game.
Yeah, we have the starters on defense still. Maybe they're going to do one series. I pan the camera faster than the guys run. I got to look through the monitor here. I got it lined up, like you said. I just get excited. Okay, I got the starting defense out there.
Well, that's enough to get the Tigers in the spread. 3 wide receivers.
Looked like there was an offside, yeah. Looked like the wide receiver on the outside jumped a little early.
The receiver went in motion to the right, but then he started going forward also. Not sure if he was, it looked like he was off the line, but he might have been covered.
Klinksick, I think, maybe on the outside.
I don't know enough about illegal formation to know if he was allowed to go in motion, but
you got to be set. I mean, that's kind of the thing is you can go into motion, but you have to be set whenever that ball is snapped. If he was still moving.
all right. So 1st and 15. Run to the left. Good gain by the Tigers, but he lost the ball.
Loose ball.
And the Cougars recover.
Let's see that on the replay. Looks like he was stripped maybe by Miller. Buchanan got a hold of that, pulled that ball out. Again, it's that for Rich Hill, you had your probably one of your biggest offensive plays of the game, followed immediately by a turnover.
Yeah.
Seems like they took a timeout there.
It's the 6-minute courtesy timeout on the field, it looks like.
Okay. Yeah, this is the first stoppage of the clock that we've had this game.
It sure doesn't feel like if the games were 6-minute quarters that it would be that much worse.
Yeah, it is interesting that they're 15 minutes quarters.
12-minute quarters.
12-minute quarters, yeah.
Yeah, but it just the game feels so long.
Yeah.
I mean, if we were running a real clock here, we'd still have 11 minutes left in the third.
Yeah. But I mean, professional games are usually 3 hours. Those are professional games.
Yeah, they also
College
take
games.
a 5-minute timeout, commercial break between each kickoff and.
Yeah. That's true. It's true.
Like, this is 3 hours of football. Like, they were going up and down the field for 3 hours.
Yeah.
It would be fun to put a meter on these guys to see how many miles they run compared to.
Oh, the amount of, yeah. I mean, having a tough secondary.
Decker takes the snap and hands it to Derling. He gets up the middle for a nice gain of, call it 4, be 2nd and 6.
Like we were saying, if they're not tackled in the front field, front and they get on that back end, I mean, that's why you see so many 50-yard plays.
Yeah.
And so they're moving up and down the field. Offensively and because so many guys play both sides of the ball.
Cougars in a crunch set to the right, off the right hash. Miller gets the handoff. Tigers sniffed that out as Miller went back to the middle. Gang tackled for no gain, maybe even a loss of 1. Call it 3rd and 6.
Try to reverse the field of play a little bit, but maybe didn't pull them far enough in, so whenever Cannon cut back through, there just wasn't that hole opened up by any linemen shifting the other direction.
Decker in the shotgun, rolls to the left.
Option pitch.
Late pitch to Derling, and Derling sprung. Gets knocked down inside the 10-yard line. Big run by Derling. Good job by Decker holding onto that ball till the defender committed. Made the pitch late in after he'd already gained a few yards. Derling finishes off a solid run for a first down.
Yeah, great read by Logan. Way to be there and be ready and really finish that run. And honestly, a tackle to save the touchdown.
Yeah.
Knocked him out of bounds.
Decker in the gun. Fake to Miller. Rolls to the left. Deflected pass. Falls incomplete. Bring up 2nd down.
Looked like he was looking for Jake Sullivan back there. Number 25.
Sullivan's got several touches today. It seems like most of them have been 2-point conversions or down near the goal line.
I think they got him lined up in the slot. Oh, no, now they got him spread wide.
2nd and 7. Decker takes the snap, hands it off to Derling. Derling gets the edge, and that's 6 more points for the Cougars.
That's got to be the last time we see that offensive group out there. Oh, after, I guess, the two-point conversion attempt.
Take a look back at that handoff by Decker to Derlin. Good blocks by the Cougars. And then Derlin uses his athletic ability on that last one-on-one to get to the edge for the touchdown.
And he's just great side-to-side movement, quick, shifty.
That's Jake Sullivan again in motion. I'm sorry, that's Corbin Cronowit, number 20. Cronowit gets the handoff and converts the 2 points. Cronowit in the slot goes in motion. The quick jet sweep to the left.
Yeah, great play. Great read, wide open. Good speed. Able to run that. Again, I got to think that's the last time we see the ones on offense.
You've been saying that since 50.
I keep thinking, I'm like, so you still got Logan out there, huh? let's. I don't want that guy running. I want that guy next week. Well, he's a strong player. Yeah, I would assume we see some guys, fresh faces go in.
Hipple takes the kickoff. The squib kick again bounces over that middle line. Carry back to the middle by Gillis. Breaks the first tackle. And finally gets brought down at the 27-yard line. First down, Tigers. Aiden Gibson gets the tackle.
All right, so now we see some twos go in here on defense. Still got a couple starters out there. Two-point second differential between the game clock and the play clock.
Handoff up the middle to Carter Bell. He's got the edge, and he's off to the races. Gets brought down. What a tackle. Levi Derling with the touchdown-saving tackle after a great run by Carter Bell. Handoff up the middle.
Great speed. Levi, an all-state track athlete. Able to catch him and bring him down and save the touchdown.
That's the end of the third quarter. So we'll go into the fourth quarter, switching sides of the field. Cougars up 60.
And these are great moments. You coming down now, and they've got first and goal. So it's a great opportunity for the goal line defense, for the Cougars that haven't had to do anything yet. I mean, we haven't had to run a goal line defense. To really kind of see what we can do to stop this team in the red zone.
Well, there's part of me that would like to see us get to 100. That's only 3 touchdowns away.
You know, every year, you look at these scoreboards, and there's not, the place to put it. So I've wondered some of these games, they get really high scoring, and you kind of wonder, what do you do once it gets to that with the scoreboard?
Yeah.
You also do wonder, there's a bit of gamemanship, right, and a little bit of sportsmanship.
Yeah, you would think that at some point they would decide not to score anymore.
This thing, if you put your twos in.
Handoff up the middle, and that's enough for a touchdown.
That's the thought though. If you put
Bell on the carry.
you put your backup team in, you don't want to slow them down, right? You know what I mean? You want to let them play,
Yeah.
but you still want to be a good sport. And we've had games like that on us in our program history too. We've been on the receiving end of a blowout.
Becker back in the shotgun. Rolls to the right, and he converts the 2 points.
Becker on the conversion.
I mean, that was the play. Let's get everybody spread. Let's get 4 guys out. Let's keep that box a little light, and then just run it right in.
Yeah, it's a nice luxury to have a game, the first game of the year, where you get your freshmen plenty of minutes. Not every team gets that luxury, but it sure is nice for player development. Webb City's done it for years where they get so much playing time for those young kids in games that are already in hand. And then next year when they come back a year older, they also have a bunch of game experience.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, there's not a lot of JV football programs. Last year I think we had 1 JV game for the whole season. Just not a lot of opportunities for the younger guys to get real game reps.
Yeah.
And practice is good, but practice only gets you so far. Getting that in-game experience. Which was one of my favorite games of all last year. Crew was a starting quarterback, or got a quarterback some, and did a great job, and it was a lot of fun.
Tigers set to take the kickoff. They've tried a couple onside kicks. Struggled to get him the 10 yards. He kicks this one deep all the way through the end zone. That'll be a touchback for the Cougars. I'm not sure what the line is on the touchback.
30. Or is it 25? 20. Wait, sorry. 15.
You're just making stuff up.
I'm just kidding. Well, I'm like, well, it's obviously, right, it's on the 25. Oh, wait, that's not the 25. That's the 15. Yeah, I'm just making it up, Brian.
So they put it on the X. That's a good spot for it to go.
They put it where it belongs, and now the Cougars will get the ball. All right, who we got there at QB now here? Yeah, it does look like maybe Miller's QB here. Yep, so Logan's taking a breather.
Aiden Gibson in the backfield for the Cougars, freshman. Miller takes the snap, gives it to Gibson. Gibson gets to the edge and gets tackled for a short gain. Goes out of bounds.
It's a big hit there. Gibson's got some great speed, really fast, but got there just in time for a couple defenders to be there to pop him.
If you're in the area and you want a cheap pizza, the concession stand's trying to give away $10 pizzas.
I see a group of middle school boys heading that way. Come back with whole pizzas.
When they get it down to $2 a pizza, I'm on it. 2nd and 6, motion. Durling comes across and gets to the first down, but a flag is down on the play.
Oh, second flag, he's going to get unsportsman. He slammed that ball down. I think it was frustration with himself, but he's going to get unsportsman. On top of whatever that initial one was, where it was, I would assume holding.
The location of the flag is way back in the backfield.
That makes me think it was holding on our wide receiver out there.
Yeah.
Trying to create a lane, trying to keep some space. But you see a couple flags back there after he spiked the ball.
And a hat.
Yeah, okay, so yeah, there was 2 flags thrown by one ref. But again, I think it's that unsportsmanlike. probably pretty frustrated with himself after that happened. Now, there was also, it looked like that tackle wasn't quite legitimate either. We got him on both teams. They offset.
Okay.
So
Face mask on.
that's declined.
So they're saying that Derling's spike was a dead ball foul after the play.
That's it.
So the two fouls were offsetting, but then the dead ball foul gets enforced.
Yeah, it looked like maybe it was holding on the front, and then like a horse collar, they were trying to tackle him by the helmet at the end. Did I see that right?
Yeah.
And then the unsportsmanlike.
Scores from around the area tonight. Lamar's up on McDonald County, 26-14. Johnson leads Kickapoo 23-7. Seneca over Castle, 42-9.
It is second down and something. Or is it third down since it's a... How does that work?
Yeah, second. It's a replay of downs.
Okay, yeah. Yeah, replay of downs because there's offsetting penalties. And then the
dead ball fall.
Dead ball enforced. So we'll be second and 17.
And we got the 6-minute water break.
Oh, nice.
Yeah, the 50.
Well, you should have told me that a minute ago. Now I got to stop the clock.
I just noticed. With all the hubbub about the penalties there.
They got that at 5:42. All right, we are back to real time. Second and 17 with 5:42 remaining. We do have a few messages. I don't know any of these names to be able to say who any of them are, but Mystery Mountain Productions, go NHCA, Cook Tube, looking great Cougars, and the 2Ms, let's go Cougars. We do have the ability to chat during the live stream, but I'm usually not on that page to be able to see the chats. Back to live action. Miller takes the snap. Finds Caleb Hipple. Hipple gets tracked down after a long gain for a first down. Miller floats it up there. Hipple, great over the shoulder grab.
Yeah, way to track that ball, Hip. He gets moving. I mean, he's moving. Those guys are chasing him down, stuff like that. They're having a tough time bringing him down. Second big catch of the night for Hipple.
We're going to call it 1st and 8. It's at the 8-yard line.
Got to get up to the line.
5 seconds left in the play clock. Miller gets a snap off with 1 second. Rolls to his right. Finds the receiver. That's Sullivan, I believe, number 25.
Yeah. So that's a passing touchdown for Cannon on top of the receiving touchdown. Touchdowns, too? Does he have one?
Miller rolls to his right, and Sullivan does a nice turnout there. That's a really good route.
Yeah, great play.
Two-point conversion attempt for the Cougars. Handoff up the middle to Aiden Gibson, and he gets wrapped up short of the end zone.
He got the ball just in time for two guys to be ready for him. So even though it's dead ball, clock's still running. (82-24).
Well, not getting that 2-point conversion hurts our chances of getting to 100 for sure.
I don't know what happens when that happens. You know what I mean? What is the?
Well, there's no room on our scoreboard here on the broadcast for 100.
We just got to have.
It seems like the digital board for Missouri Southern may have enough room for 100.
Yeah. So coming up next week, we play at Osceola.
What is Osceola doing tonight? Can you tell?
I don't see any real time. They're playing at Jasper tonight. Osceola is. Last year they were 6-5.
Hipple takes the kickoff. Low ball gets to that back line. That's Zane Becker, the quarterback. He gets to the edge, tiptoes the sideline, and gets pushed out by David Williams. Boy, I tell you what, David Williams made an interception real early in the game.
Yeah.
First or second play. And I don't know, I've seen much of him since then.
Yeah, he's been out there. I've seen him on a couple tackles since then. Again, it's kind of, we ourselves are learning this team, right? Kind of learning where everybody fits and what kind of plays they're on and where they're at. And
yeah, I can tell when Derling gets the handoff because I can make out his running stride.
Right. Yeah, very distinct.
Some of the others, you have to kind of see the number before you know who it is.
I think as the season goes along, we'll become more and more familiar with these players. And
handoff by the Tigers up the middle, gain of 3 on the play, 2nd and 7.
Senior Caleb Kennedy bringing him down. Looks like we've got the
Mystery Mountain Productions gives the woohoo.
You gave him the shout out. Gave him a shout out.
Under a minute to play. Tigers take the snap, roll to the right. Lead blockers ahead. Becker gets the cutback. Enough for a first down. Becker and Decker on the battle tonight. I suppose there's a chance that we could play Rich Hill in the tournament. Is that, or do we go into a different area of play once the tournament starts?
So we have our district, and I don't know our district alignment this year. There's always a chance that it changes year to year.
Good run up the middle. That may be the last play of the game. It looks like the Tigers are going to take a timeout.
Oh, we got a player down.
They want one last play to end the game.
Okay. No, yeah, you're right. They called timeout. Try to end on a positive note. Get a final score.
We are Cougar fans, so it's fair for us to root for the Cougars.
Yes. This is
I would like the Tigers to end on a positive note, but I would much rather see one of our freshmen get a pick 6.
Yeah. I'm speaking as if I'm their coach, right? That's it. Like, hey,
yeah.
Yeah, something to hang your hat on.
Handoff up the middle.
Dragging him with them.
Aiden Gibson brings him down.
Just short. So you got it. A freshman was able to make a stop at the end of the game.
There we go.
A touchdown.
Like it.
So great first showing. Got some great special teams, offense and defense plays from our Cougars. Great way to start the season. And and it makes it pretty exciting look. And I think most everybody out there got some snaps. Most everybody had the opportunity to get to play, and it's definitely great to see that kind of opportunity.
We'll take a look back at the recap of the game once our replay started working as we close out here. Thank you all for tuning in.